Hello and welcome to Interview with DJ Nocturna. If you're watching on my YouTube channel, please like, subscribe, and share. All right. I got two guests, and it's probably the first time I've interviewed like two female duo. I think I'm trying to think because usually I do like a whole group or one person or and it's like I was just mentioning. It's so I mean, it's not unusual because it's been done before, but it's not common, I guess. Or maybe I just don't know because I don't really listen to mainstream music, so I don't know what's going on in the mainstream world. But out there, right? It's not that common to see a female duo like doing it together, like making music together. Like, I mean, there's collaborations like one on one, right? But not like this. So I got Sarah and Ursa, and they're from the project called Sue. Thank you guys. So
Thank you.
so tell us about, like I mentioned, somebody, I'm sure people are going to say, what does that stand for? They're not going to figure out right away.
Yeah, no, they rarely do. Yeah, it's the first letters of our name. So
Yeah.
Saha and Ursa, and that does Sue. And as it also means like a bunch of different things in other languages. Like we looked it up a bit before to make sure that we found that it stuck to us, and it did. So we kept that. It's a bit hard to find when you try to Google us or find us on Spotify, but we're still rocking it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be easy because some people are going to wonder because everybody's going to assume it's something else. It's not the first name of your letters, right? And if they don't know your first names, then they wouldn't know, right? So,
Of course.
but welcome to the show and thank you for coming on the show and talking a little bit about your music. Your music is amazing, and
Thank you so much, and thank you for inviting us.
oh yeah, I think like I mentioned, I don't see very often like a female duo, that collaborated. You guys been together collaborating since 2016, right?
Yeah.
And that's wonderful. And is what is it now? Yeah, so I know you completed 3 EPs, about four or more singles, and then you have one full length album you just released. Was it last year?
Yes.
Yeah, in October, in the fall.
Yeah. And of course, you guys are from Montreal, Canada, all the way down there, really far from me. So
in the cold. Well, not so much right now, but
yeah.
So tell us, what is it? How did you guys started the collaboration and the project?
Do you want to say it?
Yeah, I'll start.
Go ahead.
So well, we met because we were both singing in more like goth rock, post-punk bands. Like we both had it was not so similar, but we were in the same scene, and we were playing with the same bass player, and so we met through that. We were rehearsing in the same in the same rehearsal space and everything. And initially we had tried to start more of another band, like with our bass player, but then that didn't work out for some reason. I guess we were all too busy. So but we kept talking, and then one day I went to a festival in Montreal that's called Oshiaga, and I saw Grimes and Radiohead playing like one after the other. And I don't know, for some reason it inspired me, because like she was pretty much, well, she had like musicians on stage, but it was almost just her. And I thought it was cool to see a girl like rocking it, like she was like launching her samples, and then like she's not really a guitarist, but like she was playing some guitar too, and I was like, she's really cool, and I was like, I'd like to do something like this, but more theatrical, because I'm really into theatrical music. Like most of the bands that I really like, or the shows that I like to go see, I like when there's a lot of stuff happening, when it makes you think, like when it triggers like something in you, and it makes you ask questions about life and stuff. So I was like, I want to do something like this. And then I asked Saha, like, would you be down to do like a project, just the two of us, like theatrical with costumes and everything? And she was like, hell yeah.
Oh yeah. And then you made it happen. It became like real,
Yes.
Yeah.
And at the time I didn't know how to do
it. Was
Ursa
like a
had
dream.
a little bit of experience. Yeah. It was. I had always wanted to be in a girl band. I've always like appreciated girl bands in general, and I've always wanted to like compose music and also learn to produce it, but I was really intimidated by the whole process of like electronic music production. But Ursa had a little bit of experience, like she'd already played around with some programs, and she'd already like recorded a few things on her own, just like, you know, on the side through the years. And so having somebody to do it with was really good for me. And it allowed us to start from knowing almost nothing to being able to now release, like through the years, you can kind of hear the evolution also of, well, first of all, of, you know, our creativity and where we're going together, but also of our skills themselves as instrumentalists and also as producers. So I'm really proud of the album that we put out in October and the way that it sounds. I find that it's the best sounding thing that we've made yet. And I'm excited for the future.
Yeah, because if I had to think about like in the past, right? How many bands are like, female duo, right? So there's Strawberry Switchblade, there's Shakespeare's Sister, right? But they have band members, right? It's focused on, like Heart, for example, but they have a whole band, right? Yeah. So it's so empowering to see that, and then now Tegan and Sarah or something like that. Yeah. Yeah. So it's so empowering to see that, to see two women collaborating, because it's not, it's mostly, it's a man's world, right? In some ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. So more power to you guys, Yeah.
Thanks.
And then and I love it that you guys mix the thing yourself, right? You mix it, put it together.
Yeah, we did everything.
Collaborate. Yeah. And that's and I have to emphasize that because I want to give more power to women, it's women's rights, women's power, right? Especially now Aquarius is moving into this Uranus moving into Aquarius, and that kind of thing, and Pluto moving into Aquarius. So anyway, yeah. So so tell us about the I know you had 3 EPs. You started in 2016, right? And then you had EPs before this, right? Before the actual full-length album that came out, which is called, well, I really like this, called Heart is a Moment.
Yeah.
So tell us about the web. I know you guys released the web in 2017, and then Little Sun. Tell us about the title and how that came about, and A Heart So Dry.
Do you want to take it, Ursa? Do you want to go one?
You can start with the web.
Okay. So basically, when we started out, because we have a lot of varied musical influences, we like a lot of stuff, and I guess we started out with the idea that we were going to use specific themes, like visual themes, and also concepts to draw inspiration from to create our first few releases. So with the web, there was sort of a ninja, like, without culturally appropriating, it's not that, I just mean urban, sort of like dark and like spiritual inspired sort of EP with a specific sort of aesthetic that we drew upon to make the thing. And I think it's a pretty cool EP for a first EP, don't you think?
Yeah, it is. A lot of good songs.
Yeah. Thanks. Do you want to take the next one?
Yeah.
Do you want to? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just also because like I don't remember exactly, but like I remember that in the Sioux meaning there was something about a spider web. So we made the spider our logo, like it's like our thing that comes back like through. So that's why it's called the web also, because like creating art is like is a bit like the spider making the web, and then we created the song. Like she wrote the song The Web to like the instrumental, and it really felt like like that darkness. The spider is a bit of a representation of the creative feminine in a way, so like it all worked out together. And Little Sun was inspired by mob movies, actually, like The Godfather and all of that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But we put it was not specifically that, it was inspired from that, and then like we dug into that subject and tried to like make it more multifaceted. So yeah, so our aesthetic was a bit more like retro and gangsterish.
Yes, sensual gangsters.
And sensual gangsters. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the title track is really about like, sometimes you find something in life that brings you a lot of good things and a lot of joy, but also it makes you find all the dark stuff into yourself that, you know, sometimes you meet someone, you fall in love, and then like it's that very great relationship, but it's like a mirror that's put into your face, and then like it makes you see all the dark things that you have to fix. So yeah, that the title track is about that a lot. So
Is that
there's also,
are you talking about A Heart So Dry? Is that the
no,
title?
Little
Little
Sun.
Sun.
Little
Yeah.
Sun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
A Heart So Dry was inspired a little bit more by the idea of the dark feminine, witchy, sort of like desert. we got inspired by that whole vibe and created something a little bit more, how would I say? It's also spiritual, but it's more about like creation and destruction. Well, I mean, those are themes that always come back in all of our
Yeah.
stuff.
Because I think
yeah.
no,
at the root,
great.
at the root, like, because we're both very existential, but we also really like to see the good things in the world. So we try to have that always in our music, where we can expose the things that we find are not going okay and be like, this is wrong, without necessarily telling people like, this is the thing that is wrong, and if you think that it's wrong, but more like, yes, there are bad things in life that are happening, but there are all those nice things that make it worth it, and that should make you want to fight to fix the things that are wrong. So like we like to put the two together, the beauty and the horror, and yeah, and like just make people think and make them want to be alive, even though there are all those things that are frustrating and horrible sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
see the positive and the light on your music, even though you guys are wearing black and you're all dark. You know, I see that light, which is really good. I see that, so I understand what you mean, and I like the spiritual aspect of it too as well. So, what kind of what are the instruments that you guys play? Like who does
I
the
play percussion. Basically, I studied classical percussion, so I play live. I'll play different drums and percussion instruments, and I also play the piano because I studied as a child. So also, I play the piano usually on the albums, and we also use. But Ursa also plays a little bit, so we use that to create a lot of the electronic music sounds, or to launch them.
Yeah, I love the piano
And
sounding in it.
yeah, and Ursa is she plays flute, which is amazing, and also bass.
Wow,
And
multi-instrumentalist, you girls.
yeah.
Awesome.
When there's guitar live, I
Yeah.
play bass and sometimes flute, but when there's guitar, it's also me playing the guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I play I'm not a very good percussionist, but I have a trash can there that I use for percussions.
Yeah.
In the song Inferno on the album, the beginning is me playing the lid of the trash can with a hammer.
That's creative. Yeah. Wow. So do you both collaborate in the lyrics?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Ursa ends up writing more of them because she's just more prolific. Like she just writes more lyrics naturally than I do, but we both write lyrics and we both write music. But it just sometimes it depends on the song. Like somebody will have come up with more of one thing than another. And sometimes it's really 50-50. It depends. But we do everything together.
Yeah.
So this LP, which came out in 2022, I believe, is called
Yeah.
Heart, and it's nice how you have HE and then there's a parentheses art, and I can see the art aspects of the art aesthetic to it is a moment. It says heart is a moment. To tell us about that and what is the inspiration behind that, the new album?
You take it, Ursa.
I really like it how you guys like all take turns. I really love it. Yeah.
That's how we work also. Well, so initially when we started, we were more like, I guess our influences, or what we were trying to do was a little more like trip hop, if you want. And with the album, we wanted to be, because it's hard when you release 4 tracks, like in an EP, they need to be very cohesive so that it doesn't feel like it's too much, and then the person is a bit lost when they listen to those 4 tracks. So having the opportunity to write a long album, we felt a lot freer to explore more of our influences. So of course we both like industrial music also, and I think that you can hear that more. We were less afraid to go darker, although like it's not an extremely dark album either, but like we went a bit more in there. We also, as she said, she's a classically trained percussionist, so we both played in orchestras when we were younger, so like movie scores were very important in our like development as musicians. So there's also that, like there's a lot of orchestrations and like choirs, and then like there's flute, and then there's like strings and all of that, a little more. And for the theme, so it started that we had a couple of songs. I think one of the first songs that we wrote was Virtue Signaling. That song is a lot about how, people, they like to point at other people and be like, that person is doing this, but then they don't really look at what they're doing themselves. Like, and it's, on social media, it's all about showing how good, like people will share a meme about a cause and they'll be like, yeah, like, woohoo, like I made my part, but it's like, okay, so we started with that song, and then we wrote some songs that were a bit around that subject. And then came the artwork. That
I'm asking about the artwork.
I was walking in the park and I just saw a cloud that made me think of a devil eating an ice cream. Like it, and so I wrote to my friend who's an artist, and I was like, would you like to do, like, I want the album cover to be that. So my friend painted that.
Oh, that's really beautiful.
Yeah, and then we started taking inspiration in her art to like go, like Hell's Kitchen, the first song on the album, is inspired by that theme, actually. So it and then it became a bit like like there's a lot of inspiration from the whole theme of like the hell, and then like there's also very existential subjects like aging, like everyone is afraid of dying, but then also that's one of the things that makes every moment so special. So yeah, I feel like I'm very all over the place in what I'm saying.
I love.
I think you're great.
Yeah, I love Suspended Time, and I love the good, the bad, and the lonely. Yeah,
thank you.
And also Hell's Kitchen is a great track. So what's the name of the artist? The who did the drawing, the painting?
So her name on Instagram is Zombie Zoo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do a big shout out to her. That's an amazing. I like the color too. The color coordination.
And yeah, she's great.
And I love my hair is kind of like that. Like the art, like the.
Yeah.
It's really cute. Yeah. So, wow. So both of you work together in doing the lyrics, and you guys just collaborate together in so many different ways, right?
Yeah.
That's
Everything.
really,
Everything.
yeah, that's good, and that's what makes something so strong, right? Collaboration.
Yeah.
This is not like one person is taking all of the accolades and things like that. You're both sharing it together, and that's a good thing. That's what makes it good.
And we have different qualities also, in the sense that like Ursa has a lot of like ideas that come to her sort of like as she's walking, or like she said she saw a cloud that looked like something. So she's really good at getting like specific ideas. And one of my strengths is taking an idea and, you know, finding ways to spin it on its head or to expand it or to continue, or I'll get an idea that's like adjacent to that. So that works really well. Of course, I also sometimes have ideas on my own, but that generally is it's a good combo for us, because we together can then, once she will often have an idea, and then we can pass it back and forth until it becomes something complete or something. Sometimes it's completely different also than what it started out as. And that's also really an interesting process. It's been very interesting over the years working together.
And so this album, this LP, is called Heart is a Moment, and I know there's about 10, I think, 12 songs, no, 13. Hell's
Yeah,
Kitchen,
but
there's another
one is an interlude and one is an outro, so it's like, you know, it's like 11 full songs and then one interlude and one
but
outro.
13 is a good number, so
yeah, we like 13. We'll go with that.
Lucky 13, right? So who does the who's the vocalist? Do you guys both share that, or who's the lead vocalist?
No, we do a lot of harmonies as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we both sing. I think maybe it happened that I might have a little more songs, because initially live I was not, like, it's very recent that I play the bass live. So obviously if I was not singing, there was a lot less things to be done for me. So I think that because of that I sang a little more maybe, but yeah, it's not on purpose really. So we both share that, and we really like doing harmonies. Like,
we love it.
It sounds great. It sounds great when you guys do the harmony. I can hear it, and it's beautiful. Love the piano. I mean, I can hear all that instrument, and I love the acoustic versions. And I love how you guys like do this from two different. I saw your live. I think it's on your YouTube channel. You're both playing together, but you're in two different places.
That was during the pandemic, so like we had no option.
But we do, like, obviously we play together when we rehearse, but we do write separately. So we actually really do send projects back and forth. And of course we have a never-ending chat on the side where we're just like talking about other projects and also our lives in great detail, obviously, like continuously, but the projects are sort of worked on individually and sent back and forth to evolve, rather than we've never really gotten together and like worked on it at the same time in the same room. And I think it's just because except for mixing, because that can be good to do like in real time. Although once the initial mix has been done, we have also like worked on it individually to just tweak little things and then write down what we've done and why and compare, because you can't mix something in one day. Like you need to then take a break and come back to it with fresh ears, because otherwise at some point you don't even know what you're hearing anymore. It just doesn't make sense.
Okay, but you guys both live in the same area, right?
Well, we're from the same city, but we live in very different areas. I live now outside the city in the forest, which is not where I am today. By the way, people, I do own makeup. It's just that I traveled yesterday and my suitcase was lost. And I don't have my laptop and I'm on my phone and I look like this. I'm sorry, but we can continue. So yeah, no, we don't live in the same area, but we rehearse in the same area.
Wow.
Yeah.
So do you guys have you guys want to talk about your other projects outside of Sue?
Sure.
Right now, that's my only project,
Mm-hmm.
artistically.
Well,
Yeah.
no, because you actually collaborated, right? And that's
Oh,
how
it's true. Yeah, I
with
do.
Martin, with
I
Martin.
do. I do collaborate with Martin. I
Yeah.
do that. Like we have a couple of things. Well, we have. So I sang on a couple of his songs. We also released. Well, I sang on one of his songs, but possibly another one. Then I have like we released a song together also. There's that project that is called In Camera,
Oh, okay.
and we have another song coming for that, and then we also have another project where we're like we're supposed to sing like in French, and it's very different.
Oh, really? Oh, wow, that's nice.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, I think. Like it's very out of the box, completely different from anything that
Oh,
we usually do.
so
But yeah, it was
is that still in the works?
yeah.
Okay,
Like
okay. I'm
yeah.
gonna ask him about that
I
later on.
Yeah, I was working, like I had been working on it because he's very prolific. He writes a lot.
I
He
know.
really does.
No,
And it's
he's very
amazing.
determined. I know he's very determined. I mean, that album
Yeah,
is
yeah.
amazing, and "I'll Be Your Stranger" is such a beautiful song. Yeah, I play it. I play it quite often in the show. And
Nice.
Yeah.
and thank you for doing that together. You know, you guys did a thing together, and I put it on my YouTube channel. So people want to check
Yeah.
that out. If you want to see Ursa and Martin Saint doing "I'll Be Your Strangers" on the interview with Martin, which is on my YouTube channel as well. So what about Sarah? What about you? I know you have other outside the projects, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this is my main project and it's my only creative project. Other than I did sing backup also on Martin's album on a few tracks, but that's more backup singing, so it's not really like a collaboration. But yeah, I have a few bands and projects that I sing for just as a singer, just singing some songs for money.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So that's what I've got going on, which is sort of, I don't even want to call it like an artistic thing because sure, like singing is art, but it's just singing and it's, you know, it's for fun and it's for fun and money. Whereas like Sue is a whole other kind of thing and I
Yeah.
love it and it's amazing.
No,
But that's all I've got going on for now.
I love the photos. I love the photo shoot you guys did, and you send that all to me, and I'm trying to figure out which one I'm going to use. Uh, they're awesome, yeah. And well, so what's coming up for this year or next year? You know, any live shows or any future ideas or
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I mean,
we're gonna
if you
be
want to reveal.
yeah. There's like a alternative goth party that happens in Montreal every season. It's called Nevermore. It's at Cabaret Berlin, and we're gonna be playing at that party on June 3rd, which is super cool. It's actually we played our first show ever at that party, and
Yeah.
the guy that organizes those parties is really an important person in the alternative scene in Montreal. He
Yes.
gives us like he gives the alternative scene so much, you know, like he's really there for us, and that's very nice. His name is Joe. Hi, Joe.
Hi
And
Joe, we love you.
we're gonna be filming our a video before the show in the same club. It's gonna be our first. We have one video that was entirely made by us because there were like it was during the pandemic again, and so we couldn't have anyone with us. So it's really very, very low budget and low like you know, like it's really just me and a camera and a tripod, and so it was very basic. But now we're gonna have like a real video in a venue with other people, and it's very exciting. We're very
Yes.
happy to do that because like initially when we released the web, we wanted to have a video for each song. Like we always wanted to have a lot of visual stuff to go with our music, but it was just absolutely not possible. Well, you know, like especially with the pandemic that happened and everything, it made it very hard. So yeah, so we're going to be doing that video, and then we have a project for another video, but we're not sure exactly when we're going to be able to do it, but it's also very exciting. Like we have the idea for it already. It's just a question of finding like where and when and how, like money wise and everything. And we're also going to play a festival called Fringe.
Oh, yeah. I heard of that. They're all over, right? It's like
it's possible. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's on Saint Laurent Street in Montreal. It's really cool, and we're playing a 45-minute show, so that's pretty exciting. Like it's going to be the first time that we play in a festival. And then we want to organize a bigger show. We wanted to do it in July. I don't know if it's going to be July or August because we're starting to be, it's a bit late now, but, and we want to like find a cool venue that has enough space, and there's going to be someone dancing with us also. Like I take pole dance classes, and
I
like one of my teacher, one of my teacher, she's really nice, and she's probably gonna dance with us for that show.
Oh, okay.
And we want to organize, like we want to make it really cool and set like a whole vibe in the venue and make it like really like an immersive thing, because that's really what we're into. Like when we launched our album, we really made it like more theatrical, and we want people, like we want it to be like a trip for people when they come. It's not just like two girls playing music on a stage. It's like you're going somewhere. So yeah, we're planning, because like, when we open for other bands, it's harder to bring the whole vibe with us. We try as much as we can, but sometimes you have like a very big drum and like gigantic amps everywhere, so you have that much space to move. So it's like
it's very restricting. But we do our best.
Yeah, wow. A lot of stuff going on, and I see the passion that you both have for the projects and the upcoming things. And wow, congratulations on the new it's kind of new still, right? It's from last
yeah.
It's still
gonna be new for another year still. We're gonna milk it.
And I really do love that drawing. So beautiful. I love
it.
It
Looks
like a little ice cream ghost.
Yes.
Cute.
It's actually, it's that the little ice creams, they're like,
is that the cloud?
Souls.
The what?
Yeah.
That what I was seeing, the cloud that I saw, I was seeing a devil with a pointy nose and an ice cream cone, and that his nose was so pointy and too long that when he went to eat the ice cream, the ice cream fell off the cone. That's what I saw in the clouds. So she made her version of that, and then the devil's trying to catch the little ice cream that is a ghost. So like those those ice creams are like little souls that are lost in hell, and like the devil's trying to catch them.
I love that. I love that interpretation of it. Now I see the little souls. Oh my God, that is a Thank you. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. It's always good to find out these things, right? I mean, we would never know unless we hear it from the artists themselves.
And it's all up for interpretation. Everybody will see sort of their own version of it, but it's also nice sometimes to know where it came from for the people who created it themselves.
It has a creative feel to it, and yet it has this theatrical positive. It's very positive. It's a good energy, It has a little dark side to it, but it's not very, very dark, it has a little light to it, which is great, so that it kind of balances everything out. And I love the color, the orange feel to it. It's great. It's bright, and it just stands out a lot. Yeah. So wow, thank you so much. I mean, this is amazing. Thank you guys for coming on the show and talking about your music. Anything else? I know that let me see. I know you have a Facebook page. It's called you just go to Facebook and then you hit like the like the SU project, so it's the Sue project, the SU
Yeah.
project. And Instagram is the same thing, as
Yeah.
well as YouTube, which is great. It's like
Yeah.
you know how people make different ones and then everybody gets lost. I'm glad you guys take. No, seriously, you gotta stay
Yeah.
consistent. You know, a lot. You know, with social media now is all over the place, right? They got so many different ways
Yeah.
to put things out.
Yeah.
So that's a good way to know. And yeah, you know, wishing you guys the best in your next projects and the upcoming
Thank you.
events and shows. I hope I can catch up, follow up, and meet you guys in person and go to one of your shows. If you guys ever play in the U.S., let me know.
We'd love to.
We will.
We
Yeah, I
will.
mean,
For
you're in
sure we
Florida
will.
right now, right? You're in Florida, so that's great.
I'm just in Florida, yeah, with none of my belongings.
That's okay.
It's really great. So vulnerable. But yes, I'm in Florida.
Yeah, but
Where
that's
are you?
great. I'm in Hawaii.
Hawaii. Oh my God. It's my
Yeah,
dream.
so I'm in another tropical place.
Yeah.
Except, you know what I love about Florida is that there's this there's this guy this guy who trains alligators in
Wow.
yeah, he helps the alligators that uh you know, because I guess if people have contact with alligators, then they actually you know, they actually put them to sleep or something like that, you know, because they get close to people. Once
Oh
you
yeah.
alligators, they get used to you, so they kind of help the alligators. And so
Okay.
I watch his thing all the time. And I know he lives in Florida. If I ever go to Florida, I want to go and swim with the alligators.
Wow, that
Yeah,
sounds awesome.
yeah, they take care of the alligators. They you know so they have they actually um yeah, he does a really good job. So I think about that when I'm thinking of Florida. We don't have alligators here. So
We love people that help animals. That's
yeah,
Yes.
he does.
great.
Great, yeah. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And I love
Yeah.
that picture in the back. Did you paint that in behind you?
That no, it's my tattoo artist that made it actually.
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I really love it. I have a tattooed version of it on my arm.
Yeah.
Oh
It's a
yeah,
bit
there you go.
different, but
Oh yeah.
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 Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
Her name is F is the key. She's very good. She also made the cover for a Heart So Dry.
Hardy. Yeah.
The skull.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
A heart
Yeah,
soldier.
with the dust in the wind there.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know, it's funny when you were talking about spiders, right? This is a skull spider, I believe. This one right here.
Ooh.
I think
Yeah.
it's a skull spider because there's a lot of legs. But anyway,
I love it.
I don't even know. But all right. Okay, well, thank you, girls. Yeah, once again, Sue, the band is
Yep.
Sue. They're from Montreal, Canada. Ursa and Sarah. And if you want to check them out, they're all over their Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Just look for the Sue Project, SU Project, and they're also on Bandcamp if you want to catch their music. Their latest LP called Heart is a Moment. And wow, thank you guys. Thank you guys for doing this.
Thank you
View.
so much
Thanks
for
to
having
you.
us.
Yeah.
Let me turn off the recording.